Today, we're going to be taking a look at one of my all time favorite micro brands, Isotope Watches. It is not easy being creative when it comes to watch design. It seems like almost everything out there has been done at one point or another, but Isotope managed to do it in a fun and creative way. I have in the latest in their Hydrium line, the Be Steel My Blue Heart. Bit of a long name, and we'll get more into that here soon. Big thanks to Jose, the owner of Isotope, for lending in the watch. Really appreciate it. So let's get to it and take a look at the Hydrium. All right. Now, a few days ago, I did an unboxing of this when it came in, and people were quite divided in the comments. Some loved it, some not so much. I was a little bit surprised by that, but I get it at the same time. It's a design that just isn't for everyone, but that's kind of a good thing in a way. What's interesting with the Hydrium line is they each have such a different vibe. Some are very playful, like the Will Return, for example. Then there's watches like the California that seem maybe a bit more on the traditional side with a more typical dial and handset combination. Definitely check their site. There's some really cool versions of this and some other watches too. So Isotope usually has some sort of theme with their watches, and this is a nod to British steel, from their railroads to their race cars to British warplanes. The watch was actually released at the British Watchmakers Day event a few weeks back, so that's why they went with this theme. And the company is based in Britain as well. So yeah, everything's steel here, including the all steel bezel. And with that dial, that's where the name Be Steel My Blue Heart comes from. The dial on the watch is a beautiful shade of blue with a sunray finish. Up top, we have Isotope printed in white, and down at the 6 is printed Hydrium X automatic and the 1,000 feet of water resistance, so right around 300 meters. The hour markers are large, and with that inner minute track, it helps quite a bit with legibility, especially with this handset. The hands are shaped like the Lacrima or teardrop shaped company logo. And other than where the loom is applied in white, the hands are gray to match the finish of the case. One thing you might not notice at first is there's a very small second hand there in the center, which I think is really cool. The loom is BGW9, and it's not too bad at all. Not torch level loom here, but it's still pretty solid. The pip on the bezel is also loomed using a different formula, and it also has that teardrop shape. You'll actually find that shape in quite a few places on the watch. The bezel is a solid piece of stainless steel with raised markers at every 15 minutes and indented markers in between. The way the grips are machined, there is zero problems getting a hold of it. The action is super crispy. It's a 120 click bezel. There is zero play when it comes to this bezel, and everything lines up just like it should. As far as the case goes, it is 100% bead blasted. So it's a fun design when it comes to the dial, but the case feels tooly and rugged at the same time. Through the display case back, you have a 25 joule Landeron movement with a beat rate of 28,800 vibrations per hour, power reserve of approximately 40 hours. It's nicely decorated with blued screws, and another little detail is the use of those lacrima-shaped holes for your case back removal tool. So lots of sort of Easter eggs like that on Isotope watches. Even between the lugs, if you remove the strap, they have Isotope engraved on one side. On the other between the lugs is Hydrium engraved. The crown is a signed screw down crown. Everything as far as moving parts goes feels premium. From the crown to the bezel, we've got good winding action, good size for grip, and it threads back in very smoothly. The watch comes out with two straps. There is a leather and then this blue Tropic I've been wearing mostly on the watch. This one is an FKM rubber, so good quality feeling material and comfortable on wrist. Both straps are quick release, but the one downside is the straps only come with one set of hardware. It is a solid signed buckle. It matches up well with the finish of the watch, but you'll need to swap it when you want to switch straps. The leather is a good strap too, with blue stitchwork to match the dial. Both straps have lots of length, so if you have bigger wrists, you shouldn't have any trouble with them. Size on the watch comes in at a case with the 40.1 millimeters, lug to lug 47.7 millimeters. The lug opening is 22 millimeters, and the thickness is 15.2 millimeters, including the very domed sapphire crystal, which is treated with an anti-reflective coating. Take away the crystal, and it's just over 13 millimeters. I'm getting right around 13.1 or so. And here it is on my 7.25 inch wrist. And this is a weighty watch, but at the same time, it's not too top heavy feeling on wrist. I absolutely love this thing. Pain to shoot for videos like this with that domed crystal and all the reflections, but cool watch overall. Keep an eye on these guys. They have some interesting stuff on the way. There's a chronograph called the Moonshot. You can find in their Instagram feed coming. I'll be showing here when it's available. That looks awesome. Cost for this one comes in at $1160 USD. Not sure how many are left as it's limited to only 100 pieces, but link to the site will be in the description below. Thanks for taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.